Good evening, everybody. Well, it is worship and wellness. Well, I feel like I haven't been with you guys in a little while. It is so exciting. It's such an exciting time with worship and wellness. I hope all is well with you. I hope you've been well. Tonight, we're just going to chat a little bit and get you excited and hope that you, after tonight, if you didn't make up your mind about the wellness conference, you will turn around and say, I got to be a part of what's going on. So, with no further ado, I'm Pastor Tanya with Fresh Start Church Worship and Wellness Ministry, and I am here with one of my colleagues to talk about the Worship and Wellness Conference that's coming up in just only a few more days. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. But before we get started, I want to bring on one of our newest members to the Worship and Wellness team, Mr. Marcus Dixon. Hey.
Hello.
Marcus, how are you today?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. I can't complain. It's been a day, but it's been nice outside.
Absolutely. I'm loving it.
Yes. So why don't you do us a favor? Tell our watchers and our viewers that are with us tonight and will be joining along the way, and who will watch us probably later on, a little bit about who you are, a little bit of your background and what you do, and why is wellness important to you?
Okay. So, as she mentioned, my name is Marcus Dixon. I'm definitely happy to be here. I'm excited about this conference. So I work with a TFC agency, which is a foster care agency. So I get to support youth on their wellness journey as they go through the process. And on the other side is also a community support section where we actually service all ages. And I get to support them on their wellness journey as well. And it's incredible being the tangible hands. I love it.
That is awesome. Yes, TFC, I have a special place in my heart. TFC stands for Therapeutic Foster Care. So if you happen to be a person, I actually recently had somebody that asked me about foster care and adoption, and so good that you are in that field, especially because we recognize that men aren't really as visible. We know that the field of social work and human services oftentimes is heavily populated with women. And so you see more women caretakers, but it's always a powerful thing when the men step up in education and mental health, to be a voice to those that are in need. So I'm glad, I'm glad that you're doing the work, but more importantly, I'm glad that you brought it a team.
Thank you.
Gives another perspective. Good evening. We got Dr. Hicks Hawkins in the building. So glad that you were with us. So here's the thing. For those who are our watchers, Dr. Hicks Hawkins is going to be with us this weekend. You don't want to miss this upcoming wellness conference. So let's talk a little bit about the conference. We number one, the conference is called Heal, Grow, and Prosper Worship Wellness Conference, where we want to heal, we want to grow, and we want to prosper. And we're using the scripture. I'm going to tell you right now, third John chapter 1 verses 2 through 3, where it says in the King James Version, "Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health."
Oh, I think we lost you, Pastor. So while we wait for Pastor to come back on, let's talk a little bit about the wellness conference. It's going to cover all aspects of wellness. We have financial wellness, we have spiritual wellness, we have physical wellness, where we actually have a Zumba class that we are going to participate in. Super excited about that. We have mental wellness, and all these things work in conjunction together to provide us with a whole wellness, the full picture. And it's super important that we actually focus on all of these areas in order to be the best selves that we can.
So you totally finished my sentence. I didn't even know I wasn't on. I was like, where'd everybody go? So glad that you were. See why you are so vital to the team. Hey. Welcome everybody. Welcome for those that are joining us. We got Jakara, one of our other team members, who couldn't join us tonight. Good evening, Jakara, and we have May, who has joined us this evening as well. Hello, so glad that you're able to join us. Listen, we I'm sure you followed up, but we want, I don't even know where I cut out at. Did I give the scripture?
No, you were in the middle of giving the scripture.
Yep. So the bottom line is we want to prosper in its entirety. We believe worship and wellness is where we believe in biblical principles, but we believe in practical steps as well, right? We cannot just expect God to do the whole thing. Hey, Pedro, we got Pedro jumping in. Good evening. Right. We're just talking about the conference. We are going to kind of give some highlights, and then hope that you recognize the need and the importance and show up to next week where we will begin, Marcus. So here, tell me a little bit about why mental health is important to you.
Mental health is very important to me due to the fact that I wasn't taught that when I was coming up. And, that's the case with a lot of us. There's a lot of stigmas around it. But to be honest, before I started working here, I didn't know anything about it. Now that I'm working at it, it's everything. It's super important that we focus on these areas so that we could be our best selves. And we also encourage you to invite everybody, because it starts with the youngins. If they get what they need, then imagine where they can be by the time they grow up to be our ages, and imagine the head start that they'll have.
That's so key. When as parents, we deal with so many things, right? Like you're a dad, and you got children in different age brackets, and my children are older, but even there is every age that mental health affects our children. And if we're not focusing on not only our well-being, our mental health well-being, unfortunately, that means our children's mental health well-being goes awry. And depending on what your generation is, like you said, it wasn't necessarily a thing that was taught. We don't, you be all right. We hear those things. Nothing. They just having a temper tantrum instead of maybe realizing that there is something going on emotionally or mentally. So I'm glad that you even reference that. So yeah, go ahead. You were gonna say something?
No, well, I can continue. Like I said, this is very important to me, to my family, and once you know, it's one of those things to where you can't turn it off.
Yeah,
Once,
yeah.
once you see the benefits, you're gonna want to delve in, and you're gonna want to pass it on.
Yep. For those that have joined in, listen again. This is tonight. We're talking about worship and wellness, and the upcoming conference that we're going to have next week. You'll probably hear me say that probably 22 times while we're on tonight, because we know the importance. We recognize the importance, but more importantly, we want to make sure that everybody that we know gets on this bandwagon. As Marcus said, bring everybody. It is a family affair. It is not strictly for women. It's not for men. It's not for children. It is for the family. It is for the unit as a whole. So bring yourself, bring a friend, bring a neighbor. Share. We believe that sharing is caring. Here's the thing. A lot of times we're like, oh, I don't know anybody that wants to go. But the funny thing is most people are looking at other people's social medias to see what tidbits and information they can get from it. So you never know who's going to look at your social media. So as you are participating tonight, definitely keep your eyes open for any of the team members, as well as the Worship and Wellness Facebook page. I will be posting left and right all week about what's coming up. So let's get into this, Marcus. Let's start with Monday. Okay. So I'm saying Monday. I want it to be all week. We're actually starting on Wednesday. Wednesday of next week, we begin. Now, Wednesday of next week, it really starts with finance. We and how we see finance, how we operate with our finances. We are dealing with financial wellness. And on that day, we have two amazing speakers. Ashlyn Price, who they identify her as the money social worker, and really she comes from the perspective of money mindset. What is your mindset about money? Here's another thing, Marcus, that many of us may have not been taught was how to handle our finances. How do we save? How do we spend? The relevance, what's connected to it. I'm in real estate, and oftentimes I can't tell you how many people that's like, I don't know my credit is. I've never looked at it. I'm not sure what's in my bank account. I'm too afraid to look. Right? That's a mindset. So we're going to talk about your financial mindset or your money mindset, and then we're also going to have David Smoot, and David is going to talk a lot about what that looks like from how to build your finances if you want to purchase a home or if you have a home, and what that looks like if you want to refinance that home, and things of that nature. So Wednesday is all about financial wellness. How do you feel about that?
I love it. I love it. That's another thing that's not spoken about enough. And again, from the younger ages to the older ages, very very important piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, no, you're right. I don't know about you. I know that for me, it's really challenging because it took a long time, right? It took a long time to get to a place of being financially stable, or at least cognizant of how to operate. And not only that, the effects that come later on, right? Like you don't think about why your credit is so key, why, how it's going to affect you. You think, well, if I got money, then I should be good. Or if I have good credit, then I don't need money, but they go hand in hand. And again, it goes back to how we teach our children from an early age. Yeah, many of us start with, hey, they got a little piggy bank and they put money in that little piggy bank, but something happens once they hit middle school age and high school age where we're really not thinking about it. We give them an allowance, but do we teach them how to break that allowance up, how to give some to God, how to save some, and how to spend some? So, those pieces are really, really crucial. And so we have amazing speakers to speak about that. Um, uh, Dr. Hawkins said financial wellness is definitely something that needs to be discussed. And we're going to do it. We're going to do it on Wednesday. So please join us. And here's the thing, as you're joining us, we want you to bring your questions. Come with questions. Get the professionals' information. Yes, some of these people but they are gifted and talented and skilled and professional in their area. Cheyenne said, hey, missed y'all last week. Sorry, sugar. Here we is. We right here. And I pray that you're going to be with us all week next week. Wednesday, Thursday is virtual. Friday is in person, and we'll get to that. Saturday is also in person. So we got some treats for y'all coming down the pike. Any final thoughts about financial before I jump into what we're going to talk about on Thursday?
I just want to stress the importance, stress the fact that it is needed. The conversation needs to be had, and that about it.
Awesome sauce. I love it. Okay, so now let's get into Thursday. Thursday is going to be some familiar faces, right? Thursday, we're going to talk about social and emotional wellness. A lot of times we know about emotional wellness. We talk about our hearts. We talk about our feelings. We talk about the things that are bothering us, but we don't often talk about the social side of it, right? How that affects the people that we engage in. What does that even look like? Like, is that even a thing? Yes, it really, really is a thing. May said, I want to say good night, but she'll see us on Wednesday. Good, May. Good. I saw her earlier. She said, hey, son. I saw that. I love it. That's right, mama. Represent. Nicole, our other team member, said, hey, team. Hey, girl. Talk about money. That's a money person right there. So Nicole will be with us on Wednesday. She'll be the facilitator on Wednesday, along with you, I believe, Marcus, right? On Wednesday to talk more about the finance side of things. So we don't want to miss it. But let's get into Thursday, which is social emotional. Now, you don't want to miss that either. Why? Because we are going to really delve a lot more specifics into mental wellness and mental health, as well as the social side of things. Marcus, you referenced when you were coming up that, and you, me, and a lot of us, especially in the African American communities, a lot of times is dust yourself off, keep on moving, you'll be fine. And what happens at home stays at home. Phrases and things like that we had to just deal with, and then didn't realize we got adults and we're like, why am I feeling this way? Or why am I watching a commercial and I'm crying? Like, what is really going on? Because we didn't deal with the root. And getting to the root of things is really always going to be the key to unlocking some really emotional damage that we may not recognize exists until we start digging it up. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna have Apostle Coates, and who will be one of our speakers, as well as Jamise Holly, who is the owner of Renew. And Renew is a mental health organization that works with private counseling. So you want to join if you even if you have questions about counseling and why should I attend, and these are people just like me. I hear these things, especially in my field. I hear it all the time, like, why I don't know these people, I don't want to tell them my business. These are things and phrases we hear. Does that make sense, Marcus? Is that something that you hear even in your field, dealing with parents and youth?
Yes, absolutely. And it's all just trauma stacked on top of trauma. Scared to talk to somebody about your feelings, as you said earlier. But it's important to work through them. You have to work through them. You can't keep them bottled up. And we tell kids, don't keep it inside or it's going to boil over. It's the same for all ages.
Yeah, across the board, across the board. Because here's the thing: I used to tell my clients, when you keep things and you keep it inside, how, like you said, keep it bottled. It's like poison, and if you don't address it, there is no good poison. There's good mold, but there's no good poison, right? Like, so you got to get it out, or it's going to come out when you don't anticipate it, or you're not ready, or it's not what we say, it's not a good time to deal with our stuff. You better deal with it on your terms, otherwise you're going to deal with it when it's ready to manifest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really good. And then the social piece to it, right? How do we identify people? How do we associate ourselves? Sometimes we find ourselves in circles. Are we in those circles and getting good? Is it good? Is it a good relationship? Is it mutual? Are you receiving as much as you're giving, or is this something? Do you find yourself in a circle because it's giving you the validation that you're looking for? And if that's the case, is there some validation that you hadn't really dealt with when you were younger? Why and how we identify the circles that we're in by choice, oftentimes, or even in relationships. Sometimes you'll find that people are married and realize, well, we were good as friends, but we're not really good as marriage partners, right? but someone said it's best that you be together for reason A, B, C, or D, right? So thoughts on that?
So like you said, we stick with people sometimes because of comfort. And if we learn how to, if we identify, like you said, why we're in these social circles, why we're in these relationships, you can see, you'll be able to see what they say, the forest for the trees. You'll be able to kind of pull yourself out and identify, is this a healthy relationship? Is this a healthy friendship? So for me, is it one-sided? Are we both mutually getting something? All those things, but that only comes
from identify. I'm sure. So you froze, but it's okay. It comes from being able to identify your background, identify those things. Yeah. There you go, Marcus. You back with us. Awesome. I had a question for you. How do you help your younger population to recognize that, since you're working with youth?
Just getting them to literally write it down, pen to paper, classic way. We like to write in our phones, but it's something about putting that pen to the pad that kind of.
Listen, you ain't gotta tell me.
So just getting them to write things down, literally write who their friends are and how those relationships affect them, good and bad, right? Pretty much just processing those thoughts and emotions and feelings and all those kind of things, and just getting it out. Like I said, you gotta go through it, and then you'll be able to come out the other side and say, hey, this is good for me. Then you can make your decision.
And it's key, just as much as that works with youth and young people, it applies for us as adults. Write it out. Right? Write down what you're going through. Write down how you're feeling. Write down how this affects you. Write these things down. I'm in 100. I know you can type it out. I know you can do all those things, but there is something that happens with pen to paper, because the processing of writing out your thoughts and then being able to go and regurgitate that, there's nothing like it. But on Thursday, Apostle Coates and Jamise Holly is going to get more into it. So you don't want
be there. Yeah.
Gotta be there. Listen, this is open to the public. Again, Wednesday and Thursday are virtual. So we'll be virtual. But now let's talk about Friday. Listen here, people. I have the pleasure of introducing Tian Williams. And for those that may or may not know, that is my sister, my blood sister, my biological sister. And she's also known as the Sneaker Preacher. And she's going to be with us to talk about spiritual wellness, or to minister to us on spiritual wellness. So this will be a worship experience that you do not want to miss. T.N. Williams is also the founder of Girls Going After God, to strengthen women in their walk with God of all ages. So she can talk about a lot more about what the importance of spiritual wellness, what that looks like, how we can grow in our spiritual walk. Because again, we believe in biblical principles, but you got to have practical steps. Marcus, like you said, here's a practical step. Take some paper, write it down. Da, da, da. We believe in giving people practical steps because there are things that God wants us to do. It is not for him to fix us and change it. He's not our magic man where you just say 1, 2, 3, abracadabra, and everything is done. It's kind of like with your children, right? If we give them everything and don't allow them to walk through things, they won't learn the lesson as well, right? They become spoiled brats. And some of us spiritually are spoiled brats because we just keep waiting for God to do this, do that, and we don't learn, and then we give it right back, and then we don't realize we're in a cycle because we didn't do the work. And so when you talk about wellness, so TM will be with us, and that will be in the building service. We will have vendors, and all of our vendors will really represent wellness, right? So we're not going to just have like food vendors and candy vendors and things of that nature, but we're going to have vending that's specific to wellness, and that's going to start on Friday night. The doors will open up at 7. So this way you can patronize our vendors. Please come out at 7. Patronize our vendors. We have people who have natural hair products, people who have natural body products. We do have somebody who's going to come that has t-shirts with sayings, that's empowerment sayings. We have Department of Health that will be out to provide information. We are going to have an amazing time. Great vendors, great information, right? That's what this is about, providing the body and the community with information so that we can do things differently. There's a phrase that says, when you know better, how end, Marcus?
You do better.
There it is. I knew you knew it. Very good. Yes. So let's go. And anything about spiritual wellness you want to highlight?
The spiritual wellness piece is in fact the glue. I mean, everything is important. Like I said, it brings the whole puzzle together. But that spiritual piece, whew, that'll have you right. It's definitely important. I'm looking forward to hearing her speak and being filled up for sure.
Yeah. Deja said, can you explain a little more about writing down the relationship we have with people? Like, what exactly are we writing about? I'm going to tackle that, and then I'm going to give it back to you, Marcus, if that's okay. There's a program that I have called Daddy's Girls Lifestyle. And one of the things, that was one of the assignments I would have them to do. Talk about the people. It's time. I use it in liken to your bank account. Right? In our lives, there are people that are taking from us, and there are people that are depositing in us. And I would recommend, when you write down, identify the people that are in your life, in your immediate circle, people that are family, people who are closer than friends and like family, associates, people that are in your life that you deal with on a regular basis, and start to assess whether they are people that are depositing, or if they're more deposits or more an asset. Because don't get me wrong, in all relationships, they're gonna deposit, and there are gonna be some people that's gonna take away, right? That's natural in relationships, but this should help you to recognize and assess, oh, you know what? Mary Jane and I are supposed to be friends, but I'm the one that goes out the most, right? So write down what that relationship looks like. What does it mean to be in relationship with this person? What does it mean to not be in relationship with this person? Right? There's some of us that's like, that's my good friend. I can't be without my good friend. And is that true? Right? What would that look like? So that's how I would that's what I would say. But Marcus, any fillers?
I couldn't have put it better myself. It's just taking inventory, inventory for your own good, and it's important that we do that. Um, And we're not saying, well, some friends are good to cut off, but we're not saying you have to cut them off.
Right.
Got to play them differently. You
That's
you
good.
you know how to maneuver, because a lot of times we put our energy in some place that is not being reciprocated or it's not being appreciated.
Mhm.
When you can
Mhm.
put that energy somewhere else, it
Mhm.
work out better for you.
That's
So I
so
can.
key. And it also, here's the other piece to that. It helps you to assess you, right? Why is it that it's okay for them not to give me what I believe I deserve? What is it about me that will accept less than, right? It's really an assignment for you more than it is to us to evaluate them, right? Like, so this that project is not really for you to write it down and be like, yeah, they are not a good friend, right? I'm gonna cut them off, right? No, it's really to help you recognize the piece that might be lacking for yourself. And I will always, say yes. Let's pray about it, but then let's connect with counselors and therapists and pastors in your region or your area to really have sessions to talk through some things. Cheyenne, Friday night, you want to be in the building at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock on Friday night. We will be in the building. We will not live stream it. I repeat, this will not be live streamed. So you got to come in the building to get the experience for yourself. Again, bring your family members. You don't want to miss that spiritual wellness experience. Um, and so that's Friday. Now on Saturday, turn to your neighbor and say Saturday. And if you're the only one in the room, just say self Saturday. Okay. Jeremy, what date? Wait, Jeremy said, what date is the conference? Yes, Jeremy, I'm glad you asked because people are joining in. The conference begins next Wednesday, the 24th, which is virtual, Thursday, the 25th, which is virtual. Friday, we have Pastor, the sneaker preacher, T.M. Williams, will be in the building on the 26th. And on the 27th, it will also be in the building, which is where we're going now. So for those that are joined in, that I wanted to say that. Self Saturday. Yes, self-care Saturday. That's right, Doc. Yes, let them know. Let them know. So listen, on Saturday, I want you to, first things first, but I don't remind me to repeat this later, okay, Marcus? Come dressed down. Wear your sweats, wear your comfortable attire. You are so welcome, Jeremy. Wear your comfortable attire because that day we're gonna move. This is all about the body, our physical wellness. So there'll be some movement and there'll be some information. There'll be some good food, but you got to register, and I'll talk about registration later. So those that register will be able to get meals. But let's go through what Saturday looks like, okay? Deja asked the question. I'm gonna come back and catch this question. She said, what are some tools that single parents can use for their wellness? Woo, girl, you better drop all these good questions. I love it. I'm gonna put a pin on that question, but we're gonna come back to that. So just hold that thought. I'm gonna come back to it. And if you are on here and you have some questions, please drop those questions in the box. Saturday. So on Saturday, we have a full day lineup. We start at 9 o'clock. Excuse me. We start at 8:30. Registration is at 8:30. You come on in, you sign in, you get your we got gift swag bags for you. Get your swag bags, and we will begin promptly at 9 o'clock. We have speakers. We will have, well, myself, of course, I'll be the invocation and help everyone feel welcome that day. We will do movement where we have help me out, Marcus. We're gonna be
Zumba.
there we go. Have some Zumba. We'll have some Zumba movements. Just with the goal is to get our heart rate up and pumping. Sometimes I don't know about those that are watching, but if you happen to work a job where you sit a lot, nowadays more people are sitting more than ever. If you're working virtually or if you're working at a job where you're not really doing a lot of movement, we're not moving our bodies the way we should. And it's not healthy. So we're going to do some physical activity on that day. Nothing strenuous, nothing that's going to lay us out. Well, maybe some of us might need an extra water bottle or two, but that's okay because we're going to have one in your bag. So it's okay. We are going to have a panel of speakers. Woo! You don't want to miss that because the panel will be a group of people of different age ranges to talk about mental health and what that looked and worshiping well and what that looks like in their age bracket. So we have people that are young adults, we have women, we have men, we have older adults to talk about that process and what that looks like for them and the importance of it. So you definitely don't want to miss that because somebody that will be on that panel will be able to speak directly to where you are. Marcus, thoughts before I even move on with that?
The physical piece, definitely important. Health is wealth, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I said that's another piece of the puzzle that we got to put in place. Got to put that in place because we want to live long. We want to teach our youngins to live long. And I always reference the youngins because I work with a lot of them. But I just wanted to be known that this journey is for all ages. And I know we continue to say that it's for all ages. Invite everybody.
Yeah, everybody, bring your families, bring your sisters, your brothers, your neighbors. It doesn't really matter. Everybody can benefit from what's going on. So all you got to do is just let us know if you're planning on attending. We have Dr. Hawkins Hicks, who will be also a part, and she is a registered nurse. So she sees things about how we handle our bodies from a physical perspective, dealing with patients who are probably headaches, but she has the grace of God upon her life to deal with people, right? You got to be graced to be a nurse. Like you got to be graced to be. You can't deal with people if you shouldn't deal with people if that you're not graced to do so. So we're grateful to have her a part on Saturday. And we are looking forward to just having an amazing time. We will have the Department of Health that will provide a presentation. And then there's lunch. And then here's the thing. When you think it's over, ain't no party like a wellness party because a wellness party don't stop. From 1 to 3, our vendors will be there. You'll be able to get more information, to learn about different areas that are important to you and your family and provide resources for you. So I'm telling you, this is going to be a huge event that you do not want to miss. You do not want to miss. Look, my team members got my back. She got our back, Marcus.
On it. She's on.
There it is. There it is. Here again, the conference is Wednesday, April 24th through Saturday, April 27th. It's virtual Wednesday and Thursday at 7. Friday is at 7:30 at FSC, and Saturday is 8:30, really 8:30 to 3. But 8:30 to 12 are the sessions, and then vending is from 1. Lunch will be from 12 to 1, and then vending will be from 1 to 3 or 12 to 3. So you don't want to miss it. We have a little bit of everything for you that will meet the needs of who we are as full beings. I want to go back and catch that question. Or maybe you might want to tackle this question. I'll let you start if you want. But it says, what are some tools that single parents can use for their wellness? And that's such a good question because we hear that a lot, right? Parents don't focus on their wellness because they don't have the time. I ain't got time. I gotta cook. I gotta clean. I gotta get them from school. I gotta put them in the bed. I gotta knock them out every now and then. I gotta let them watch TV. I gotta prepare dinner. I gotta prepare lunch. I got too much. By the time I finish, I sit down. I'm amped like a light. How do I, as a single parent, what are things that they can use for their wellness?
What I say to that is you have to make time for yourself. Self-care is of the utmost importance. If we're not well, then how can we pour into them? At the best of our capacity. You just have to make time for yourself. It's okay, we're taught, don't be selfish. But when it comes to your mental health and your wellness and all that good stuff, it's okay to be selfish. You have to be selfish, because if you're not right, how can we expect to pour into somebody else if we're empty?
That's so good. We have to. You have to. You have to. It's a requirement, right? You got to make it just like it's a requirement to brush your teeth, shower. It's a requirement to take medication if you're on medication. It is a requirement to focus on your wellness, even if that means, taking a minute in the bathroom. If it means breathing, learning how to breathe. That's one of the things we wanted to present on Saturday, how to slow yourself down in the midst of stress. If you're at work, you can't just leave. There are tools that you can do to teach yourself breathing exercises. We do have a treat for those that are attending the conference. There is an app called Calm. No, I'm sorry, Abide. And Abide is an app that will help you with different scriptures. It gives you stories. It helps you to sleep. And we are going to be able to get that for free. So I'm super excited about that we don't have to pay for that. So more information on that. So we got a lot of goodies. We got a lot of goodies for you. We got a lot of wellness goodies for you.
Come on down.
Tell them again.
Come on down.
Come on down. That's what I'm saying. Again, I just want to also tag on. Look, Frank said, I'm just getting old. I could use some Zumba. We all are. Our body, whether you sitting too long or your body is going through changes. I just told somebody the other day, I was like, I'm in conflict because my brain still feels young and vibrant, but my body is reminding me of the age that is on my birth certificate. And I don't like the conflict that's happening. But I gotta move. We gotta move our bodies. Nicole, who's one of the team members, she is a guru when it comes to physical wellness and physical fit. And she be sending us messages like, come on. They started a 31-day or 30-day exercise, do different things each day. I'm still on day 1. It's bad. We at what is this? Day 15. Nicole, don't be mad at me. I'm sorry. I don't know. I got to do better. So, find an accountability partner, do what you need to do, but we got to be well. Deja, also what I wanted to say to you was the other piece I think is key for single parents is teaching your children what that means, depending on the age of the child. Granted, we know our little ones won't necessarily understand that, but we can do it with them, right? Create a space in their room. If they're feeling stressed out, what does that look like? Okay, let's have a moment. Let's go to our fun pillow with our favorite doll so we can sit down and breathe. Let's do it together, right? Taking the time to teach them and walking them through steps will also help you as a single parent. So I just wanted to put that out there. Faye Dubbin said, amen. If Faye, you talking about being young in the mind and the body don't catch up, or the body done passed us or something. I know. I understand. So again, Worship and Wellness Conference is next week. This coming Wednesday. Well, no. Next week, Wednesday, not this coming Wednesday. Next week, Wednesday. Wednesday and Thursday will be virtual. Friday in the building. We got the sneaker preacher. You do not want to miss that. Saturday, we have great panelists of all ages to talk about their journey and to talk about the journey of wellness, period. We have that includes Dr. Hawkins Hicks. We also have, some Zumba, some body movement. We're going to have good lunch. We're going to have a presentation by the Department of Health. Vendors, I'm just telling you, we pulling out all the stops on Saturday, because we all going to be laid out we can't be laid out on Sunday, but Sunday afternoon, the wellness team is probably going to be after ministry. We're going to be knocked out because we have been working tirelessly to make sure that the body gets what it needs. And we're talking about the body of Christ as a whole and our community as a whole. So this is free. It doesn't matter what church you go to. It don't matter where you live. Come on and be a part of what we have going on. I believe you will benefit from it and you don't want to miss it. Any final thoughts, Marcus, or comments that you want to say?
Not really. Just make sure you are there. Make sure you are there. You will be filled. You will learn things. You will go home with things to chew on. Um,
Mhm.
just be there. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yeah, that's so good. All right, well, that's it. I mean, we just wanted to get you excited. Go on the worship and wellness page every day. I will highlight our speakers and those that are coming and just different things that's going to be happening each day this week after tonight. I look forward to seeing you virtually as well as in the building next week, Wednesday. Now, Jakara will yell at me if I don't remind you to register. You will be able to go on either the Fresh Start page. You can look up the registration. We will soon, by tomorrow, hopefully have up the QR code so you can register that way. There will be various different ways that you can register, but just register. It is free. There is no cost, but we want to know how many people to prepare for. As I mentioned, we will have some swag bag, we will have lunch, but we want to make sure that you are a part of the number. You got to be in the number to win it. You got to be in it to win it, right? All right. So, with no further ado, this is Worship and Wellness, where we believe in biblical principles, but with practical steps. We look forward to seeing you next week. We love you. God bless. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell a friend. All right, everybody. Good night and God bless.